Alright, Shalom. Before we get started, we want to give our praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule and teach well. And peace and safety to all the Akim that's out here pushing out the truth and putting their life on the line to do so. Yeah, this is GMS Atlanta camp, just here with another lesson. You know, we just wanted to go in on actually having, applying the knowledge and wisdom that you're getting from the scriptures, you know, because men gain all this knowledge and don't know how to put it to use, and ultimately it can be the cause of your downfall. You know, that's and right. We're going to get a couple of scriptures that's pertaining to it.
Right. If I can say something too, because when you read the scriptures, it's a lot of examples of men that actually had a lot of knowledge and wisdom, and they applied the wisdom that the Most High actually gave them through situations and scenarios. And you had certain individuals, they had a lot of knowledge, and the Most High put them in certain scenarios and situations, and they flopped, man.
Yeah, kind of.
You know, here it is, they had an abundance of knowledge. Some men that were prophets of the Lord, which I'm gonna bring out an example. You know, they had the rock in their hands, so to speak, and they were in a situation, and they just flopped. Like, yo, you gotta utilize the wisdom that the Most High Yahweh Shah gave you. Even though, you know, a lot of times brothers is, you know, sitting back, so to speak, and you in a room reading, it comes a time where you have to apply all these things that you're reading.
That's right.
This isn't just a novel where you can just read and absorb, and you get with a couple of brothers and you just speak about situations in the scriptures. Nah, everything that we're reading about is gonna partake in our day-to-day lives, man.
That's right.
You know, it's gonna actually activate in situations and harsh scenarios to show that we're actually following the path of the disciples and the men of the Lord.
That's right.
You know, when you read the scriptures, it speaks about how when certain men, even in the book of Acts, when Stephen, he was a part of the ministry, and he started preaching the word, and he started rebuking Jake, and you know, he got put to death. He got stoned and he got put to death because what? He was pushing the word. So through the word, the Most High tries you. He tests you through situations. All right? That's why the scriptures tell you that. Matter of fact, I'm going to start with that scripture in Sirach 2. Sirach 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
That's right. Prepare to be tried in various situations. You know, you have to and you can't be enclosed in your room all day, every day.
Yep.
You know, because the Most High, you got to be tried. You know.
Hey, even in the Matrix, they was out on missions.
Right.
You know, one of the primary things was for them to wake up the ones that was out in the Matrix that was still being consumed by the the Matrix, so to speak. They were still attached to the Matrix. They were still flowing off of the course of the world. So you had them that had to, you know, get out of the comfort zone, and they had to actually go into the danger zone to actually retrieve them and bring them back to the shelter.
That's right.
And that's us. That's why we go where? To the highways and byways. And that's one of the primary places where a lot of things go down, man. You might get into it with a scoffer. The cops might come your way trying to interrogate you, trying to move you off the block. The black woman might call the cops on you saying that you hit her, or situations like that. And these situations also happen in brothers' day-to-day lives, man.
That's right.
And it's going to continue to gradually increase, you know? Certain people may call the cops on you and try to frame you, but it's all about how you apply the wisdom of Yahweh Shah to actually, you know, be safe.
That's right.
You know?
I got a quick precept.
Kind of.
You just said, because like the brother say, you know, you're going to be tried and you're going to have all kind of bullshit come your way, you know, especially on the highways and byways. But that's when the wisdom come in. All right. This is Proverbs 15:1. It says, "A soft answer turneth away wrath,
That's
but
right.
grievous words stir up anger."
Yeah,
that's right.
So when you met with these different scenarios, it's all about how you handle it. Is what's going to be the outcome.
That's right.
If you don't apply the wisdom that you know through these scriptures, okay, it says a grievous words stir up anger. Okay? So you're gonna be, you might escalate the situation just off of what what comes out of your mouth.
That's right, bro. If I could add to what you're saying too, that's why it's so important to read, because if you haven't read a certain scripture and you're putting into a situation, you wouldn't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
You know, even though that certain scripture may not come into into your mind, and when that situation happens, it's instilled in you because you read it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a brother in the camp, he always tell me, you can't unread something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why
right.
it's so important to read and to read the scriptures.
Yeah, because the scriptures is a big, complex book of commandments. It say, do this, don't do that, don't do this.
That's right.
It gives you instructions on a macro level and on a micro level. Just from your day-to-day, how you talk to people. Learn how to talk to people. The scriptures teach you different levels of etiquette. What to say to certain people. You know, if you're amongst thieves, the scriptures speak about measure the time. Basically,
Avoid
get the hell
the
up out of
path.
there. Avoid the path of evil. You know, just like you said, when you amongst certain individuals, it say give soft words. It say when you amongst the adversary, what it say? Agree quickly. You know, it tells you all these different things, and you have to read them first, and then you apply it. Because knowledge is essential. That's the first thing is gaining the knowledge, the act of knowing, and then you can apply what you know.
That's right.
That's where wisdom comes in. Wisdom is no more than the application of knowledge. So you have to have both of them on a balanced scale,
Right.
all right, to be perfectly balanced. The Lord said a false balance is an abomination unto him. He doesn't want anybody that just has a heavy knowledge but no wisdom. That doesn't balance out.
Yeah.
Knowledge has to be applied.
Like if the say a cop may pull you over, you know, and here it is, you want to roll down the window and get into a full-blown argument with that police officer.
Yeah, what's your badge number?
Right. Asking for his badge number.
Do you know I know my rights and all that?
Yeah.
And you have this on YouTube where it say like sovereign citizens get owned.
Yeah, sovereign citizens.
You know, you have these sovereign citizens trying to go into all these different penal codes, and next thing you know, they getting thrown out the car. They getting they window busted open. They getting tased, and locked up. When they could have just said yes sir, no sir. Simple as them two words. Thank you. He might just be an asshole, but what you say, thank you.
Yeah.
Because that's wisdom. Even though it might not feel good to the emotions, and you might have to compromise yourself, but that's how wisdom works. It's all about knowing how to snake around certain situations, man. So that it won't become potentially dangerous, and you leave that situation with your life.
That's right.
If you have to compromise your integrity, so to speak, so be it. You leave with your life. You got individuals that try to be Mr. Tough Guy, and next thing you know, they're getting blown away, man.
Right, because they got the truth.
Yep.
They try to use the truth as a platform to be some type of asshole in every situation when that's not what the scriptures say. The scriptures say, agree with your adversary.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I got that.
Hey, and if I can say one thing too, and even when you read the scriptures is so on point that a lot of people actually hate the fact that the scriptures actually tell you to be subject unto your master, so to speak. Agree with your adversary quickly. Hey, the scriptures say pay your taxes. It say render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. But niggas don't want to hear that. The scriptures tell you all. Hey, the scriptures give you a lot of wisdom. And just like I said earlier, a lot of men, they don't want to do that. They want to be Mr. Tough Guy, man. They want to be King Dingaling, so to speak, walking around these streets. It don't work like that, man. Just move smoothly. You got to be. Hey, the word polite means being smooth. You got to be polite out here. You got to be a spiritual politician, man.
That's right.
All right. This is politics. Knowing how to cut corners, so to speak. You don't run everything directly, man. You gotta know how to maneuver, man. This truth is all about mass maneuverability. All right. Even though this is a straight gate, it gives you tactics. It gives you strategy. It gives you different ways to calculate and deal. All right.
Sorry,
But you go ahead, bro.
This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 25. It says, agree with thine adversary quickly, while thou art in the way with him.
That's right.
Yeah. So when you're talking to your adversary, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
You know, you don't tell him. Hey, you know you an Edomite, right? Why the hell would you tell him that? Now you got his feathers ruffled up.
Right.
Now he ready to goddamn put that billy club up to your goddamn head, man.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you a big Mike getting yoked out.
Yeah.
And you want a picture, they got your 5-year-old image, right by your casket. Because you wasn't using wisdom.
Yep. Or every time, you know what I'm saying, you out with another brother, you like, man, I can't, loud as hell, man, I can't stand these faggots. Or look at this Edomite right here.
That ain't wise.
Yeah, that's not using wisdom.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's funny we talking about this because I said all these different things on a lesson that I said earlier about how this is the Wild Wild West and not Disneyland, man.
Yeah, God.
You know, this is the scriptures speak about how we walk in peril. We around dangerous people day to day, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got certain people that's on medication. You got certain people that haven't got their daily dose of medication and they spaz out.
Yep.
Hey, and some of these people got right to shoot you and they could get off because what? They ain't even got their medication.
Yep.
You could take that to trial and you could get acquitted
Yep, God.
by law. So you got to use wisdom because you don't know what type of spirits these is, man. Some of these people are ex-cons, ex-murderers that might got acquitted on certain charges.
God.
You know, you don't know who you dealing with, so you got to know. So you got to just be under the radar, man. That's your best bet.
God.
Don't get no senses up, so to speak. You don't get these different people aroused and things of that nature. You got to move smoothly, man.
That's right, bro.
When Yahweh Shah was in the earth, Yahweh Shah was the most smoothest man to ever walk the face of the earth. He didn't talk crazy. Hey, even when he was getting sentenced, what he said, that's what you said. You said that I'm the king of the Jews. He didn't say I'm the Lord. And when I come back, I got thousands of legions of angels, and we're gonna tear this shit up.
He ain't show his
He
hand.
didn't show his hand. He played cards. He knew it was chess, not checkers, man.
God.
Yeah. He going to the Denzel Washington on training day. You think you can do this to me?
Right.
King Kong, you know.
Yeah, God.
You know me.
Yeah.
Nah, that ain't what the Lord did, man. And you got to use those examples, man, and walk accordingly.
Yeah,
That's
man,
right,
like
bro.
that. Because Yahweh Shah is the prototype.
Yep.
And you got some more? Oh, I got
Oh
something.
yeah, what's your
Okay.
It said, at least at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison.
Right, because he got power to lock you up. He got power to send you to the judge. He could write a report on how you was acting basically irrational.
Mm-hmm.
And then the judge could lock you up, man. The judge, they got power over your life. They got certain jurisdiction. And you don't have that jurisdiction. Your jurisdiction is what? Your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you govern. And through that government, so to speak, you know how through that government you have ability to rule over certain situations through the scenarios that you're placed in.
That's right.
But a lot of men don't know how to rule over their tongue. They speak out of season.
Mm-hmm.
They speak crazy when they don't need to, man. They be too bold. Scripture speak about even though a righteous man is as bold as a lion, you don't apply that all the time. That's wisdom, because it's all about the application.
That's right.
You don't apply Proverbs 28 when you're dealing with the cops. Or the scripture said that the righteous man is bold as a lion, the wicked flee. I'm finna make him flee, because he the wicked. Nah, man, it's wrong.
Right.
Even though you use the scripture, it sounded good at that time. Satan done put that in your head.
Yeah.
Hey, Satan know the scripture. Satan, hey, Proverbs 28. Remember that,
Yeah.
Proverbs 28.
Yeah.
And your ass getting tough,
Yeah.
you know, charged up. Now your ass getting locked up, man. Because
Yeah.
you wasn't using wisdom, man.
Yeah.
Simple situations can just be put out easily if you just apply it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a scripture. This is Sirach 28:12. If thou blow the spark, it shall burn. If thou spit upon it, it shall be quenched. And both these come out of thy mouth. So the two things your tongue do, if you spit on a situation, you just quench it. And if you blow on it, you're gonna ignite it.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta watch how you use your tongue. That's why the scripture says, let me read that over. If thou blow the spark, it shall burn. If thou spit upon it, it shall be quenched. And both these come out of thy mouth. So you gotta know how to use your mouth, man.
That's right.
You know, and body language. Sometimes you don't even need to show certain body language, man. That's showing your cards.
Yeah.
You gotta know how to train yourself when you're in certain situations. Don't be looking crazy, man.
That's
Don't be
right.
showing that angry look, that smacking your lips like a goddamn nigga woman, man.
God.
Be reserved. Know how to play the snake. You got sometimes these politicians, they might be in certain situations. They might be pissed off. They just got bombed, like Syria. They had got bombed and they had to go to a meeting. He might have been pissed off his country got bombed. But did he show his cards?
Nah.
Did he show his colors? No. He was greeting them,
Mm-hmm.
speaking well, speaking nicely, so to speak. Because he's a politician.
God.
We're spiritual politicians. So we gotta use them politics, man.
That's right.
And you had something, but if not, then
That's real quick.
okay.
Yeah.
Proverbs 15:2. It says, the tongue of the wise uses knowledge or right,
Mm.
but the mouth of fools pour out foolishness.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, you can expound on that.
That's pretty much self-explanatory.
Yeah, well,
God.
that's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Because it said that the tongue of the wise uses knowledge of right. So it's a right and it's a wrong way how to use knowledge, man.
That's right.
It's a two-edged sword. You might be thinking you cutting somebody, but you cutting yourself. You're getting yourself in a bad predicament. So, Lord willing, we'll do a B-side to this and expound a little bit more for you, Akim. But you can close up.
We're going to close out by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. Shalom.
Shalom.